Hey friends, Tony here from TL Yarn Crafts, and today I'm sharing the beautiful Lacy Shells Tunisian Crochet Stitch pattern. If you're excited to learn this Tunisian Crochet Stitch with me, be sure to like this video and consider subscribing to my channel for even more crochet tutorials, free patterns, and product reviews. For this tutorial, I'm using a 6.5mm Tunisian crochet hook and worsted weight yarn. The Lacy Shells Stitch is worked over a multiple of 5 plus 2. For my sample, I'm working over 22 stitches. To begin our row, we're going to make a slip knot with our yarn, place that on our hook, and begin by chaining 22. So we're going to yarn over, pull up a loop. There's 1 chain, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, and 2. From here, we're going to flip our chain over, and on the back, you can see these nice little bumps. So that's what we're going to be working into. So I'm going to skip this first chain here, go to this next chain, and just above my thumb here, you can see a bump. We'll insert our hook into that bump, yarn over and pull up a loop. Insert, yarn over, pull up a loop. Insert, yarn over, pull up a loop. We're going to do that for each loop across this chain. Insert, yarn over, pull up a loop. Insert, yarn over, pull up a loop. Insert, yarn over, pull up a loop. All the way down the chain, just making sure we catch that single loop of the chain, yarn over, pull through 1 loop. And we'll know we did it right if at the end we have the same number of loops on our hook as we did in our starting chain. Insert, yarn over, pull up a loop. Insert, yarn over, pull up a loop. Insert, yarn over, pull up a loop. Just a couple more here. Last chain. I'm going to do a quick count because even sometimes I get off. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. There's 21 and 22. And now we're going to do our return pass for our foundation. Starts with just a chain 1, yarn over, pull through the next 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the next 2 loops. And we're going to repeat that all the way down the row. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, until we have just 1 loop left on our hook. Yarn over through 2, through 2, through 2, through 2, all the way down the row. So that's our foundation. Now we're going to do the forward and return pass for row 2. This loop on our hook counts as our first stitch, so we're going to skip this first vertical bar and we're going to head into this next vertical bar. Insert your hook under that bar, yarn over, pull up a loop. And we're going to do what's called Tunisian simple stitch all the way down the row. That basically just means insert under the next vertical bar, yarn over, pull up a loop. And that's the stitch. Insert, yarn over, pull up a loop. Insert, yarn over, pull up a loop. We're going to do that for each row across. And again, if you're just learning, when you get to the end of the row, you might want to count your loops just to make sure you didn't drop any or add any. Insert in the next vertical bar, yarn over, pull up a loop. Insert in the next vertical bar, yarn over, pull up a loop. And continue that down the row. And we'll do something a little special for that very last stitch. Insert, yarn over, pull up a loop. Insert, yarn over, pull up a loop. Insert, yarn over, pull up a loop. So now we're at our last stitch. We're going to rotate our work towards us. Here you can see that this last stitch has a front loop, but it also has a back loop tucked right behind it. It's right here. making sure I don't split the yarn there. So to complete that last stitch, we want to make sure we get under both bars of that last stitch. So I'm going to take the tip of my hook and shimmy it right under both of those loops. And I'm going to yarn over and pull up a loop. So let's do another quick count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, and 2. Now for this shell stitch, we're going to do a different return pass than normal, starting now. So we're going to begin with a chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to find the next 6 loops on our hook. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to place my finger here as a marker because we only want to work with these 6 loops for now. We're going to yarn over our hook and pull through those 6 loops. And you can kind of do that in stages. Just do it slowly. Okay? Follow that up with a chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I purposefully made those chains pretty loose because we will need to work into them later. We're going to find our next 6 loops. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yarn over, pull through those 6 loops. Follow that with a chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Again, find the next 6 loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yarn over, pull through those 6 loops. And we want to do this until we've got 2 loops left on our hook. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Find our next 6 loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yarn over, pull through those 6 loops. So we've got 2 loops left on our hook here. We're going to now chain 2, keeping it loose, yarn over, and pull through those last 2. So we can see our shell starting to emerge. Really pretty. So now for row 3, we're going to begin by pulling up a loop in each of these first 2 chains. So this loop on our hook counts as our first stitch. We're skipping this first vertical bar, going directly to the chain to the left of that bar. So I'm inserting under just the top loop of that chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, and do the same for the next chain. And now I want to pull up a loop in the top of the shell, which is this space right here. I'm going to insert, yarn over, pull up a loop. So I've got 4 chains here. I'm going to pull up a loop in each of these chains. So I've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then pull up a loop in the top of the shell. Again, I've got a set of 4, so pull up a loop in each of these chains, beginning right here. So here's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Pull up a loop in the top of the shell. Again, we've got a set of 4 chains. We're going to pull up a loop in each of those 4 chains. Here's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And pull up a loop in the top of this shell. So now we're at our last 3 chains here. So we're going to pull up a loop in each of the first 2 chains. So here's 1 and 2. We're going to skip the next chain and pull up a loop in our last stitch. If we rotate our work towards us, we can see both the front bar and the back bar of our last stitch. So we want to make sure we insert under both bars of that last stitch. Again, just take the tip of your hook and shimmy in under both of those bars. Yarn over, pull up the loop. So that's our forward pass. And now for our return pass. We start with a chain 3, remembering to work pretty loosely on your chains. There's 3. Find your next 6 loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to place my finger here. I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 6 of those loops. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Find the next 6 loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yarn over, pull through those 6 loops. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Find the next 6 loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yarn over and pull through those 6 loops. And keep doing that until you've got just 2 loops left on your hook. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 chains. I'm going to find my next 6 loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yarn over and pull through those 6 loops. I've got 2 loops on my hook, so I know now I can chain 2, yarn over, pull through those last 2 loops. So we're just going to repeat that row, that forward pass and return pass. We're going to do it one more time together here. First loop here on my hook counts as my first stitch, so we're skipping this first vertical bar, pulling up a loop in each of the 2 chains that I have here. Insert under that top loop of the first chain, yarn over, pull up a loop. Going into the second chain, yarn over, pull up a loop in the top of the shell. Now I'm at a set of 4 chains, pull up a loop in each of those 4 chains. So here's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Pull up a loop in the top of the shell. Again, pull up a loop in each of these 4 chains. So here's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then pull up a loop in the top of the shell. I'm at a set of 4 chains again. So I'm pulling up a loop in each. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Pull up a loop in the top of the shell. So I'm at my last 3 chains here. I'm going to pull up a loop in each of the first 2 chains. Skip the next chain. Pull up a loop in the last stitch. Again, making sure we catch both loops. So there's 1 and 2, both loops of that last stitch. Insert under both of those loops. Yarn over, pull up a loop. So that's our forward pass where we collect our loops. And then for our return pass, we start off with a chain 3. Find our next 6 loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yarn over and pull through those 6. Chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next 6 loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yarn over, pull through those 6 loops. Chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Find our next 6 loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yarn over, pull through those 6. Chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Find the next 6 loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yarn over, pull through those 6. I've got 2 loops left on my hook. I know I'm going to chain 2, yarn over, pull through those last 2. So you'll just repeat the forward and return pass of that row to your desired length. I'm going to add a few more rows to my swatch, and then I'll be right back to show you how we do our last row. So I added a few more rows to my swatch. These shells are just so beautiful. I could keep on going forever, but I'm going to stop now and show you how we'll do our last row before the bind off. So we'll want to do our forward pass like normal. So pulling up a loop in each of these 2 chains and in the top of the shell, and then pulling up a loop in these 4 chains. Here's 2, 3, and 4 in the top of the shell. And we'll do that, of course, till we get to those last 3 chains. So here's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Simple the top of the shell, pull up a loop in each of these chains. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1 in the top of the shell. For these last 3 chains, pulling up a loop in each of the first 2, skipping the next chain, and working under both loops of the last stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. So we've got our 22 stitches here. Now for the return pass, we're going to chain 1 and we're going to do our standard return pass, which is yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, until there's just 1 loop left on the hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, until there's 1 loop left on the hook. And the reason I like to do that is because it gives this shell stitch a nice flat edge on the bottom and along the top. So if you're adding a border, or maybe you've got this flanked by other stitches, you have nice clean borders. I'm just going to zoom out a little bit so you can see what I've got here. So this is what the shells look like as you work them up. I typically like to flip this swatch over, so my shells are just those beautiful arches stacked right on top of one another. This video was made as a supplement to the Lacy Shells Square as part of the Tunisian Holiday Sampler Blanket. To get the row-by-row instructions for the Lacy Shells Square and learn more about the sampler afghan, visit the link in the description.